When staying in an Airbnb, why did Flacco put a bag of frozen vegetables halfway up a wall?
That's the most lateral question I've ever heard in my entire life.
When staying in an Airbnb, why did Flacco put a bag of frozen vegetables halfway up a wall?
Me when I'm the Airbnb owner. Why did you do that?
Why?
He's so quirky.
Halfway up a wall.
Truly so many elements of this question. Frozen vegetables. A wall, Airbnb. Put it, didn't stick it, didn't nail it, put it.
Mm-hmm.
Is there there is an understandable like skepticism and anxiety some people have about being monitored in Airbnbs? It's possibly tied to that.
But why frozen vegetables? The only Flacco I know is the owl that escaped from the Central Park Zoo in New York.
I will say that this is not a Flacco that you will know.
Okay.
No!
Okay.
That's
Why
a
did
shame.
the owl put the frozen vegetables on the Airbnb? That would have been the whimsy. You're just destroying all the whimsy every single question.
That's like it's part of its nesting process is whipping down Iceland and grabbing a couple bags of frozen peas.
That owl was a tourist attraction for a while. Just kept
hanging
flying
out.
about.
Let it keep going. Did they capture it or something?
Turns out there's a reason that zoo animals shouldn't be released into the wild. They tend to get ill from rat poison and things like that. So not great.
It's not fair.
Same.
I mean, frozen.
Yeah,
You don't thrive.
me and rat poison do not mix.
Not good together. I mean, frozen vegetables are used for like wounds and for things like that, but it wouldn't be unless it was the most trick of a question. It's like it was technically halfway up a wall where a person's wound was. I'm like, that's
Halfway up Mrs. Wall, his wife.
Airbnb is an element that I feel like it's so essential.
What is Jordan? What is halfway up a wall in an Airbnb?
the TV?
That's a thing. That's a thing. That's
The air, like not like Airbnb, the vent, the AC.
It's the thermostat. They put it on the thermostat.
They did put it on the thermostat.
so it just like kept like making the temperature go higher, like within the apartment, because it thinks it's still really cold, so it's trying to reach like a certain temperature.
Because the landlord won't let you change the thermostat.
Yes, that's exactly correct.
That's awesome. That's such a sly method.
So why wouldn't they be able to just change the thermostat?
I mean, the Airbnb classic is, the service of the website is, do you want somehow a landlord that's worse than normal? And I have plenty of landlords who are very fussy in a passive aggressive sense about temperature stuff because the tenant agreement says, you don't have to die in the cold, but they will look at the building and be like, I don't know, maybe you could do some damage. So can you lock at them? Is that what they're doing? They're just like, it's available to touch, but it's just locked and they have no ability to change.
I mean, the control panel can be separate from the thermostat.
Yeah.
So if the landlord has just removed the controls, whether that's physical or digital or...
Imagine even simpler, though. An even more crude solution.
They've just like super glued the like.
Okay, slightly
knobs
less
so the
crude,
dog
but you're on the right track.
Tape?
There is a product, but but in terms of the elegance of the solution, it's not as elegant as like separating the controls or something like that.
They've padlocked it. They've somehow locked out the thermostat.
Yeah.
Have they just like drilled like a cage over it?
Yeah, there's a box. They put like a little box over it.
That's such a funny...
it's like a clear plastic like lockbox.
Oh, that's worse that it's clear plastic. So it's like you can see, but you can't touch.
You can see it. Yeah,
it's worse than like tanking the cost of the AC. Like it's such an embarrassing thing to have on your reviews of your Airbnb versus just paying like a couple extra dozen bucks for the day that they're staying there or something.
I would love just the Airbnb, the reviews are just all pictures of people with frozen peas up against the thermostat. Like, this is the experience.
The funny thing is this type of security mechanism works exactly one time and then it goes viral and then everyone gets the solution to how to bypass your system.
Yep.
So I'll explain who Flacco is. Instagram user Flacco Shaheen was staying at an Airbnb in Wisconsin. He was annoyed to find that the Airbnb host had put the thermostat inside a locked Perspex box. Flacco put a bag of frozen baby okra on top of the box to cool down the air inside. Thinking the room was colder than it actually was, the thermostat turned on the heating once more.
Oh, respect. Oh, that's honestly... that's like medieval science approach. It's getting rid of like the ill humors just by putting up like a
It is lateral thinking. I think it's a very clever solution.
The Lateral book is out now. Just click on the link to get your copy.